Hi and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to be making sausage cornbread. I'm going to be using a ½ pound of our country sausage that I get off of the Amish. Hi! My kid's being silly. So I am only going to use half of this package because I'm not making a whole bunch. Okay, I'm going to put half of it on to brown, and then I'm going to put the rest of this in the fridge for tomorrow. Alright, I've got my sausage on browning here. You can hear it sizzling away in the pan. So now I'm going to get started on the cornbread. I'm just using some yellow milled cornmeal. I want equal parts cornmeal and flour. My kid took my measuring cup. 1 minute, let me go find it. Kids, they take everything when you're trying to use them. Alright, so I'm going to get some flour in here now. And just kind of give this a quick mix together. Okay. Now I want salt. Just a good bit of salt in there. And baking powder, of course, because we want this to raise. And get all of that mixed in together. Now if you want to use this, like run it through a sifter first, you can. It just makes it a little smoother. Except cornmeal's a little grainy, so I'm not really worried about it. Okay. Ooh. And if you're not making a little bit of a mess, you're not having fun. Mix my sausage here. My sausage is almost halfway done cooking, so I am going to take my diced up onion that I have here and put that right in the pan with the sausage. Give that a good mix and let that cook down together. Now, back to my cornbread here. Okay, I'm going to take some of my eggs, 2 of them. Thankfully my hens are still, they're doing good for this being the dead of winter. So, I'm getting a good bit of eggs again. Because they always, you know, the shorter days and the colder weather, they tend to lay off. I'm just going to mix that in really quick. And then I'm going to add a little bit of milk. I just start with a little bit, and then if I need to add more, I can. This is looking good. And I'm just going to mix all this and put it in the skillet that I'm browning the sausage in. Alright, that's looking good here. I'm going to set this out of the way and stir my sausage real quick. That sausage is frying up really lean, so I'm not going to get oil out of that. So I am going to add about a ½ cup of olive oil. Because I'm not getting enough fat out of the sausage. So I'm just going to mix this in here. I've got my oven preheated to 350. I've also got some brown beans on cooking. They've been on all day because my husband likes to eat this with beans. My son likes it with mashed potatoes. So I also have some mashed potatoes going too. You can add garlic to this, bell pepper. You can actually put beans in this if you want. You can put any vegetable you would like in this. I'm just keeping it pretty simple tonight. I am going to sneak a little bit of cheese in the cornbread. I've got some yellow cheddar and white garlic cheddar shredded up here, so I'm just going to mix that into the dough. Quick little mix. And it kind of melts down enough that it doesn't bother my son too much. If it melts down really good, then he's okay with it, but if it's just regular cheese, he has a really hard time eating it. Same way with cooked vegetables. You can eat them raw. You try to cook a vegetable, and he can't get it down. Texture issues are fun. Alright, I've got my sausage. It's browned down now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a can of cream of mushroom. Now you can add cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of whatever you like. If you have the homemade, great. I don't have homemade on hand. I have a can here. So I'm just going to add that straight in with my brown sausage. I like the homemade, but I didn't have any left over, so I'm just going with what I had on hand, which was a can. Okay, I just mixed a little bit of milk in there to get the last of it out. You can put that in with my sausage and onion. I've just got that mixed in the bottom of the pan here. Okay, at this point, if you want, you can take your sausage and mushroom mix and you can mix it in your cornmeal if you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour the cornmeal on top of this. Get this kind of spread out here in the bottom a little bit so it's a nice even layer. Okay, just a minute. I'm going to set this here. So I've got it spread out in the bottom in an even layer. Now I'm going to take my cornmeal and just pour this over the top. I need to check my potatoes here. They're bubbling away. Got all scraped out in there. And I'm just going to lightly spread it over the sausage and mushroom mix here. Now, if you want to add more cheese to the top of this, you can, but I'm not going to push my luck with the cheese. Okay, at this point, this is ready to go in the oven. I've got it set at 350, and I'll put it in the oven for about 25 to 35 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. I am going to dish up my son a plate to let it cool down. So that he will be ready to eat here in just a little bit. And you can see that layer of sausage and mushroom on the bottom. He's got corn and mashed potatoes to go with this. All right, I'm going to let this cool before I serve him. And now my husband, I did brown beans with him, and I put corn, onions, garlic, some bacon, and I've cooked that down, and he will have that with his sausage cornbread. I'll get it out here in a minute. Thank you for joining me, and happy baking.